Today, we meet the Robinsons, Alonzo Burnham and Mary Jane. They were your great-great-great-grandparents. I think this photo was taken on the ranch just south of Bakersfield. From documents found at the county recorder's office, the ranch was sometimes known as the Robinson Ranch and other times was known as the Santiago Creek Ranch. Hey kids, welcome back. 2 days after this occurred, the newlyweds headed south to Bakersfield. Your great-great-grandmother told me they went to Bakersfield on their honeymoon, fully intending to return to Mendocino County. Another family story goes that Bakersfield was only a stopover on their way to an area known as Pacific Palisades, where the couple already had land patents. Either way, they stayed on the ranch in Bakersfield. A land patent is a block of land usually consisting of 160 acres. These lands are acquired from a governmental body, usually the federal government. Frank Robinson, Alonzo's father, was awarded a land patent of 160 acres after he completed his military service during the Mexican War. Together, Alonzo and Mary Jane, had a total of 6 children. Albert, born 1885, Minnie Mae, born 1887, Frank, born 1889, Stella, born 1891, Archie, born in 1893, and Dorothy Bell, born May 15th of 1896. Dorothy Bell was your great-great-grandmother. She told me that sometime around the turn of the century, the family built a house they call the lower house. This house was the one you saw on the big photo board. The main difference between the upper and the lower house was the upper house had a chimney. She told me that the lower house was built to be nearer to the school. There is a book called History of Kern County, published in 1914. On page 741 is mentioned Frank Rector and the Robinson family. In this section, it states that Frank Rector and the Robinsons were very successful sheep ranchers. Alonzo was very civic-minded. Although through the years, he was a member of the Kern County Grange. He was also elected constable, as well as a member of the Kern Grand Jury. He was also a member of the Paleto school board for 16 years. He was a member of the Modern Woodmen of America, as well as the Woodmen of the World. During the 1880s and 1890s, both Alonzo and Mary Jane began to increase the size of their ranch to around 2,500 acres. On July 20th, 1946, Alonzo passed away in Bakersfield at the age of 87. His wife, Mary Jane, passed away in the same year on December 30th. Both were interred in a mausoleum in Union Cemetery in Bakersfield. In 1952, there was an earthquake that centered around Taft, destroyed their mausoleum, and in 1959 they were reburied in the Robinson family plot, also in Union Cemetery. Much of the research on Robinsons of Kern County was mine. Credit should be given to a cousin of ours, Donald Jerry Robinson. He was a grandson of one of the brothers of Dorothy, your great-great-grandmother. Sadly, Jerry passed away a few years ago. He is buried in the Cayucos Moro Cemetery, the same cemetery as your grandmother, William Alexander and Mary Ann Rector. Also, your great-great-great-great-grandmother, Mary Butler Rector, is also buried there. Jerry did a lot of research on the Rectors in Germany. On a trip to Trupach, Siegen, Germany, to research an early Rector family, he and his wife attended various lectures on the Rector family from historians in the area. He recorded a couple of them and sent them to me. Next time, we'll discuss the Bowler side of the family, starting with John Benedict Bowler. Until then, stay safe.